All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast. I am your host, Jimmylee Velez. I'm here with Goose, Heck, Gabe, Jamar, and Kareem. Lost in the sauce. In this episode, the crew welcomes special guest Jamar Saunders. We cover topics that range from cooking, the keto diet, hot sauce, to coronavirus, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Alan D. Wolfelt and Virginia Woolf. Guys, if you're new, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to download and subscribe. We drop a new episode every Tuesday morning for your listening pleasure. Kicking things off. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so for those of us who don't know who you are and what you do, let us know.
Well, I'll kick it off. I am Jamar Saunders, the CEO of Lost in the Sauce, LLC. I'm pretty much just the founder here. We do got a group of 5 of us that we're working as a team.
Nice.
I am Kareem Henson. I am the COO of Lost in the Sauce.
Nice. So let's talk about how this got started, where it came from. We'll get into the label, the names, but how did the hot sauce? How did it even start?
Well, it started out as me going on a diet, like a keto diet. So I actually tried it out, like about 3 years ago. It was like a big thing. Everybody was trying to do
Absolutely,
keto.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to do keto. And it's like, you can't eat barbecue sauce, but I love barbecue sauce. It has way too much sugar in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, hot sauce is the only thing that can give me flavor. So I started, I couldn't have a lot of salt in the diet. Really, I had to, be a lot more healthier with things. So I started looking at the sauces, and I'm realizing, man, there's a lot of sodium here.
Yeah.
I looked at the ingredients, and there was only 3 ingredients. So I was like, I could probably do this myself.
Yeah.
So I looked up some peppers, bought some peppers, made it at home, bought the work just for myself. A coworker was like, hey, whose sauce is this? They tried it out. I was like, oh, this is the best sauce I've ever had.
Wow.
And I was like, for real? And they pretty much was like, you got any more bottles? I made a big batch, so I had 8 more bottles, and I sold it to them.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's awesome.
Dang. Well, that's one way to start off. And, a lot of this is out of when people create things or start things, it's out of a need, right? You're filling a void.
Yeah.
You had to get creative. You thought of something. And I'm with you, man. Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce is so good.
But, and so, all right, so fast forward. All of a sudden, you sell, a couple bottles, obviously. Instantly, did you think you had something? Or was it more, let's just see if, anyone else or give other people samples to see what they think of it and then move from there, or you just knew right away you had something?
Man, at first, my wife at the time, laughed at me about it. Like, hot sauce?
yeah, right?
That was really bad.
Right.
And then everyone else tried it out. This is great. This is good. And I was like, how much sodium is in this? I was like, it's low sodium. So I didn't even think about the marketing at all. I just really made it for myself.
Yeah, of course.
And I used to be a personal trainer, so I was really health conscious.
Yeah.
So I made some health conscious sauce. My grandmother loved it. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
So they came to me for it, just to purchase and buy it. It was dope. So it was the results was evident that it was a big thing.
Yeah.
So I looked more into marketing and how big hot sauce is. Hot sauce is huge in California.
Yeah.
And it's huge in New York.
Okay.
But it's not really big in the Philadelphia area. So it's kind of like we're kind of create a wave for gourmet hot sauce.
Nice. And the good thing about hot sauce is that it's not seasonal, right? There's a lot of times, I know myself, I make a beverage called coquito. In the Spanish culture, it's a beverage you have, but you really only have it for the holiday season, right? Yeah. But this is something, it's and people say the same thing, oh man, you should bottle, you should have. I'm like, but it's seasonal. And, after a while, it's kind of like, all right, this does not go old because you can put it on different items, right? And so tell us a couple of the items that you were putting it on that was the hit. Was it just, one particular item?
I think one thing, it depends on the sauce. We have a La Trinidad, and it kind of has a more of a citrus base to it. Okay. So it goes well with seafood.
Nice.
It's a very spicy, it goes very well with seafood. Goes very well with buffalo dip.
Nice.
Goes any dairy product goes very well with.
Okay.
We got peri peri sauce. We actually have it at a winery called Grace Winery now.
Nice.
In Media, PA. They use it on their wings. So there's some banging wings right there.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
But a lot of our sauces are very versatile. You can pretty much put them in anything.
Okay.
And you can never worry about too much salt or like over salting it, because there's about the highest salt we got is 20 milligrams on one of these bottles per serving.
So serving size, is that up to the person's discretion, or do you recommend, because you guys ever see that thing with the Dorito? It's like one Dorito, and like that one bag is like the hottest Dorito ever, and obviously you don't want to eat a whole bag of those. It's just, it's supposed to be funny. You're supposed to eat one and see how much you burn your tongue off. Is that something here, or is it just it's discretion? It's, if you like hot stuff, you just keep it moving.
It's more discretion. We don't really have any artificial preservatives and things like that in there.
Yeah.
Most of everything we have that's preserving is like natural.
Okay. Nice. And so explain a little bit about the bottles and how that came about, the difference, and then we'll talk about the labels.
So with the bottles, we wanted to be a little bit more different when it came to the bottling everything.
Yeah.
At first we could have did plastic bottles. We could have did like a cheap glass. But we wanted to look more of when you said gourmet sauce, you wanted a gourmet bottle.
Absolutely.
So we got bottles that are like, just sauce bottles, but they're very glossy, very beautiful, great shape. And then we even got each bottle is going to be a little bit different.
Okay.
So even with this one, this is an 8-ounce bottle compared to our 5-ounce bottle, which is a lot more wider.
Yeah.
But you can envision this bottle at like a pub, like a gastropub or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we kind of wanted that feel. We wanted it to be more of a modern feel. We wanted the bottles to look good into new concept places.
Yes.
We didn't want a traditional bottle.
Yeah. So how did you come out? Did you start reaching out to people who make bottles? Like, how did that even develop? I mean, I see you got like the tops, and you had to pick out colors. How'd that process?
So first, I know my own weakness.
Yeah.
I'm hard. I used to think I sucked at art. I think if you could feel art, they would have felt me. So I'm more of the math guy, the guy that's good at analyzing things and getting details and logistics.
Yeah.
So I called my friend Shayana Stovall over. She's a graphic designer. She went to school for it. She's really great with concepts. She's been doing art since she was born.
Wow, very cool.
So she helped create the logo, the labels, and the color and the scheme of everything.
Okay.
So it really helped out with that part.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's I like how each flavor with the logo, it says lost in the sauce, but in the middle is a pepper, I'm assuming, and each pepper is a different color, obviously associated with that flavored sauce. That's awesome. And then, so explain, I was always interested when someone has nutritional facts. How do you get nutritional facts out of right? So I don't even know how this started, but I started thinking about, it was like the first farmer or whoever's farming, all of a sudden they coming up with numbers of how many calories are in, like, how was that? I don't know how that was ever established, but how did you yourself get this? Is that something that you look up, or?
So cool nerdy fact about calories.
Okay.
It's a measurement of heat in the body. So it's pretty much how much heat the food creates in your body.
Gotcha.
Cool fact.
Nice.
I know that from school for personal training. But the other fact is, nutritional facts you can easily do. They just got to be FDA approved format.
Okay.
Doesn't mean the FDA comes over and tests your product.
Sure.
It just got to be approved format. So you can either use a website called Recipal, which creates the nutritional facts for you. And you can just place on your label with a graphic designer, or you can use some software of some sort. But it's simple. You just got to have the format of it.
Gotcha. All right, so now you invite your friend over, you guys come up with labels, you figure all this out, you bottle it up. How do you now grow your team? Like, where does everyone else, where does Kareem come in, and where did I'm assuming 3 other people, right? Mm-hmm. Where does everyone come in, and what are their roles?
Well, so for me, I'm a good planner. So I'm a really good planner. I plan ahead, make sure we don't get roadblocks and things like that. Kareem's more of in the now. You know what I mean? He's got more power in the now. So he does like operations, and he works on, he works on the operations. He bottles, he makes the sauce mainly.
Absolutely.
If I'm needed, I'm there. Or if Malcolm's needed, he's there. Malcolm is more so, I guess you can say, more in the marketing realm of creativity, creating new marketing solutions, and trying to think outside the box there.
Yeah.
We got my friend Shiana. You always need a lady in the group.
Of course.
Because you could tell if I had my way, the first label was actually a boat, right? That was selling on flames. That was the first label.
Actually, that doesn't sound bad either.
So
you never know. You can have your little alternate line.
we were gonna bring out a special edition.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we're gonna start with this, and we're gonna bring out a special edition. But she helped me out with the design. She's the creative manager. She pretty much says, "Oh, that looks nice" at this point, and she makes new designs for us, and she just helps us out, so we won't have to pay thousands of dollars for new art.
Sure. Of course.
And then we got Darren. Darren is very organized. He's the organizer of the group.
Yeah.
He's very good at business administration.
Nice. So
he's definitely on top of that.
Yeah. And hey, that's a great structure. Everyone's needed. Everyone has their role. That's something, when you're first starting out in business, that's interesting that you have that already established, because when you first start out, well, you probably obviously already know, when you're probably trying to do it all yourself, you're going to tire yourself out, one. You're going to burn yourself out, too, and not with the hot sauce. But it's exhausting. And then I feel like you stump your own creativity. You stump the growth of the business. You stump everything, because I feel like we're all blessed with a talent, but we could also have the ability to limit ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you bring in another person, and it creates that third mind or whatever's going on, the little mastermind, and ideas start generating the energy. I bet you guys, if you all five of you went in a room, the energy's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want, right? That's especially for anyone who's listening who wants to start a business. Not necessarily you have to have this established already, but it's a good idea to get the creative juices flowing, start talking about ideas, because people, they might come up with something you were never even thinking of, or a different angle, right? So my question with the actual sauce, though, right? How did you go from one to another? So that I'm interested, because I'm like, how the heck did you even figure out one was better with pairing with X, Y, and Z, one's better with wings? Like, how do you even get there? Like, how in the world did you think, and we need some pineapple?
That's what I was thinking.
That's amazing.
Is it something you tried somewhere else, or you just like,
I used to.
Dang, let me try some pineapple on this.
I always say I'm a retired fat kid. I used to be overweight kid. Obviously, I used to eat everything, so I'm retired now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for you. Yeah.
So, like, with flavors, like, a lot of people don't think, right now I'm actually a vegetarian. I don't actually eat meat at all.
Okay.
So, with chicken, you think of chicken has more of an earthy, sweet-like flavor, right? Like, it has, like, a sweet-like flavor. So, you got to think, all right, what can I add to that earthly flavor? I can make it more savory. I can bring out more heat. A lot of people don't know that salt is for taste, but taste is just a contrast. So, salt is actually bitter.
Yeah.
But the bitterness brings out the sweetness of the chicken, or it brings out different flavors depending on where you put it in it. So with flavor, you just got to analyze, all right, where do I want to be at with the flavor? Because there's savory, there's earthy, there's different kinds of flavors out there. And a lot of people don't realize is when you make food, that's how they think.
Yeah. So do you when you're making it, are you doing like the whole Salt Bay thing where you're just dropping the salt like with the hand thing and it falls off your forearm and right into, or is it was more of a concentrated thing when you're making it?
When I make sauce personally, I know Kareem's actually, he's been doing operations. He's been making sauce. He's been using the recipes I came up with so far, but he actually got a few recipes he's been throwing out right now too. So for these flavors right now that already got released, what I was thinking, a lot of the times I looked up, let's say with the La Trinidad, it's a Trinidadian hot sauce. So a lot of the flavors are more of islandy. Nice. So when you think of an island, and you think of when you think of an island.
Absolutely.
So you got the Moruga scorpion pepper, very hot. You know what I mean? Very hot. And then you got the citrus afterturn tones, very citrus. Think about we got mango in here as well.
Nice.
And then you also have shallots.
Okay.
So it all comes together, and it makes you feel like a Caribbean flavor.
Yeah.
Then we got peri peri sauce. It's a South African flavor. It's actually I'm trying to think who was the people that came over. So a few people came over. I forgot from what European place.
Yeah.
They came over with like cinnamon and these different kinds of spices.
Okay.
And the people of Africa pretty much welcomed them and said, "Hey, we actually have some spices too." And he created what we call peri peri sauce.
Gotcha.
I think it's a Portuguese, actually.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We could fact check it later. I think it's a Portuguese. They came over with like cinnamon and some of their spices, and they created peri peri sauce.
Gotcha.
But a lot of our flavors are like inspired by African and other like lost culture flavor groups. That's what we're trying to do, bring back culture.
Absolutely, absolutely. So have you ever made one that was like, yeah, that's not it?
To be honest, no.
Nice.
It's either it was too hot and we're like, we can't bring it out yet. We can't bring it out yet.
Yeah, tone it down a little bit.
The peppers. Can you go to any grocery store and get them, or where do you get the peppers from, like to make this?
You can either get it from a farmer. Some people do these peppers in their homes, or we actually got a vendor we go to. So we got a vendor you can find online. A lot of people just got to establish themselves and get a tax ID number and an LLC, and you can find these vendors and suppliers easily.
Oh, nice.
So you guys use the same person for all your peppers?
Mm-hmm.
How the heck did you find? So they had every pepper you needed to make these sauces.
Yep.
Wow.
What's in the pineapple one? Because the pineapple seems singled out the entire time. You haven't said anything about this pineapple guy.
Kareem, look at Kareem's laughing.
Oh yeah. So the pineapple is pretty much the pineapple is one of our simpler sauces because, to be honest, I'm weak when it comes to mild flavors. I'm not good
like
at eating.
That kick?
Yeah, I like the kick.
Yeah.
I'll suck at mild. So we always had. This is the first flavor we had was the hottest one.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
So
So you
you get
started
it-
out hot. Now
I was like, we're gonna tone it down. So I was all right. With this, it's just habanero. It's more simpler vinegar. There's pineapple and there's mango in there. So it's very sweet. This is very, like a lot of people actually have this on like salad dressing.
Okay.
They use it as salad dressing.
Salad dressing. Okay. I was gonna say, what kind of meat would you put that on? But I mean,
But you could.
I've never had a salad that's spicy though, like salad dressing.
It's a little kick.
It's okay,
But it's a
Well,
little
you
bit of
said it's mild.
fruitiness to it,
Right,
so it
right.
can be used as a vinaigrette.
Gotcha.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Also goes very well on any tacos or anything with like
So it's-
anything.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, so.
So Taco Tuesday it is.
All right, so you talked a little bit about trying or testing out new flavors. Can you talk about a little bit about that process? I don't know, Kareem, if you want to say anything, but is it something like I want something to match X, Y, and Z food group, or I want to get another kind of feel from around the world? Is that how it starts, or are you just starting to throw in extra peppers, extra seasoning, and you just figuring it out?
Well, I'm gonna start it, but I think Kareem can complete it. So pretty much what we do is we are very customer centered.
Yeah.
We're customer centered. We understand that there's no longer a sales process or a sales cycle. It's actually called the buyer cycle now.
Gotcha.
The customer is actually in control of buying. So really, they're voicing their needs more. In the day, it was so scarce, we didn't have many things that were on the shelves.
Right.
But now, you can buy anything on the shelves now.
Yeah.
So with that, we listen to our customers or where we need to be at. So Kareem came out with a sweet chili sauce. We have like 3 barbecue sauces we didn't release. He could talk a little bit about that and like how he's testing them around. And we got even a hotter flavor than that. So.
Wow. So Kareem, you want to talk a little bit about the barbecue sauces?
So with the barbecue sauces, we trying to kind of hit all of the spectrum of the barbecue. So we want to hit the mesquite, the smoky, applewood. We want to hit that zesty, tangy.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just trying to put it in like a barbecue spectrum for people. It's like we got a barbecue for everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves Sweet Baby Ray's because they got a barbecue for everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
So we're kind of trying to
So true.
a little bit follow their template, but add our own little spice to it.
Nice.
Literally. No, that's awesome. So what has been your most memorable experience throughout all this, right? So it was 2017, you kicked things off. Was it when you first had that first, feedback, or is it the constant feedback you get back from people? Is it creating new sauces or new creations? Is it the exposure, the commentary? What's your favorite part about this?
It's just we always find like surprises. Sometimes there's a little doubt every day.
Yeah.
It's like funny. Like yesterday you had great results, but the next day you're like, I got a little doubt in me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
You got the results, but for us, we always find that we found more and more people that we like. Our customer base found itself.
Yeah.
We didn't like, all right, we're gonna market to this exact demographic. We pretty much placed sauce out there. We went to Cowtown, New Jersey.
Okay.
You ever been there? Cowtown, Jersey?
No, I heard of it. I've never been there.
So we went there like a winter. The last winter we went there, just me and him. It was cold. We couldn't get a place inside, and we sold a great amount of sauce in the cold.
Wow.
And that just showed us, hey, people actually will buy the sauce that don't know us.
Yeah.
We always expect your friends and people to buy the sauce, but in reality, it's the complete strangers who will support you first, and your friends are like, oh, they're buying the sauce, it must be good. Yeah. I knew you for years, but I think it's always like new customers is what makes it exciting. Like new faces, new tastes, new people tasting the sauce, just finding new ways, and people giving us solutions. Like at Grace Winery, they wanted us to use their wine to make a barbecue sauce. So we have a barbecue sauce from their wine. Wow. And we're about to start releasing it. And we're starting to sell sauce to them by the gallon. We used to sell it by the quarts. So it's kind of cool to see the demand grow more and more and more. Awesome. And it's kind of nice to, introduce new flavors. We didn't want to be like, all right, roasted garlic buffalo sauce. Or we didn't want to be like just the average people. Like, we wanted something like it's called La Trinidad. So the name makes you inquire about it. Peri peri sauce. The name makes you inquire about it. Why you call it peri peri sauce? Then we got more simpler flavors like mango pineapple. That just say, hey, that's exactly what it is. So it's either you're gonna inquire about it or you're gonna know exactly what it is.
So how did that connection with the winery happen?
So my friend actually from high school, always keep friends. I've never been the person to burn bridges at all. So with my friend Alton, he's like, oh yeah, let me try that sauce. We were actually looking for sauces, and I gave him one of each sauce, and they tried each one. They're like, I think this one will fit the most, the peri peri sauce. So just to let you know, Grace Winery, you gotta have a good amount of money to go there. And like the base is mainly, I guess you could say, white people, white America. A lot of people you won't. I wouldn't think that wanted some peri peri sauce. But they loved it so much, and the wings there are pretty pricey. I won't lie. Like if we buy 50-cent wings, they're over $1. They're about $2 a wing. And they're like a wing. And then, like, people are just buying like a bunch of them because of the peri peri sauce. So that showed us, hey, we create value in their product. I didn't just want to sell them some sauce. I wanted to actually help them become successful at the end of the day. And that's what we're doing. That's
the best too, when you have that feeling you're adding value. And again, it goes back to maybe it was a void. They didn't even know that was even there, right? It's kind of like we're saying. It's like we didn't even know that was a need. It's a need because once they taste, they're like, oh yeah, I need that in my life, and we need that at the winery. That's crazy. I didn't realize you can make barbecue sauce, or you can incorporate wine into barbecue sauce. Explain that process. Is that something you're like, I know exactly what we're going to do here, or is it kind of something you're just messing around with?
So Kareem mainly led that project, but we did burn the wine out, so the wine is not in there. You're not going to get drunk from eating this barbecue sauce.
Can't have little kids buying that thing by the gallon.
The 8-year-old was walking around the house with his bottle.
Gotcha.
Why are you drinking this? It's got wine in it.
So there's a process. There's a process,
but when you got to create flavors. A lot of people think you just create spicy sauce. Everyone's focused on temperature with hot sauce usually, and then they make flavor second. We make flavor first and then heat second. So that's our theory.
So like for our La Trinidad, we were aiming for more like a savory type thing. A little bit of savory, a little bit of citrus in there. For the peri peri, we were aiming for savory and robust. We want to bring out the natural earthy flavors of the chicken when you put it on there, but we also want to blend it with a flavor that you've never had before.
And if you want, you can read the ingredients here.
For the mango pineapple, we were looking for more like a sweet heat summertime type of flavor. So because a lot of people, they eat crabs and seafood big during this summertime. So we look for that with that. We also look for versatility with it too. So you can do it on tacos and things of that nature.
Add flavor to simple foods.
That's it. So there's only 10 ingredients in here. That's amazing. So we have peri peri peppers, bell pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, smoked paprika, garlic powder, oregano, basil, parsley, red wine vinegar. That's it. And you're lost in the sauce. This is amazing. 100% natural. Where did the name come from? Lost in the Sauce. This is great. I love the labeling too.
Well, I guess mainly from like a lot of times somebody was like, "Oh, I'm always like pretty much like the first day it was gonna be like a major flavor or something like that, right?"
Yeah.
But I never told them about that. To be honest, they didn't even know that. So that's just
First time hearing about
Revealing
this.
yeah. So. And I'm always like thinking, so everybody's like, "Man, Jamar's lost in the sauce," because
Literally.
I'm always like lost in the sauce
Yeah.
all the time. Like, yo, you're just overthinking. It's like, yes, I am. So I'm just always lost. So I was like, oh, it's catchy and it's a saying.
Of course.
But one thing I know with the name "Lost in the Sauce," it would be hard. One thing would be hard to trademark.
Yeah.
So we would have to just trademark the logo.
Yeah.
But to be honest with us, with the name, what we're trying to do with it, because you can imagine a lot of people are like, oh, I want to name this "Lost in the Sauce."
Yeah.
Oh, I want to name this "Lost in the Sauce."
Yeah.
What we would have to do is pretty much win by popularity.
Okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And that's why we added the LLC too.
Yeah.
So just in case we can distinguish ourselves.
Yeah,
a little more
absolutely.
with LLC. But Lost in the Sauce is pretty much a goal, like just to get into a flavor.
Yeah. So what do you want the reaction to be moving forward, right? So when people grab one of these bottles, obviously you're absolutely right. That's high quality, everything. What do you want the reaction to be when they get lost in the sauce? What do you guys want them to remember?
I want them to remember distinguishing flavor that they can only get in pretty much one place.
Yeah.
When they try it, they're like, oh, I can only get it here.
Yeah.
I want it so when businesses businesses are trying to be competitive and try to work with us and do partnerships only with them.
Gotcha.
I want it so people would try to franchise our sauce.
Yeah.
And that's the goal right there. Just
Yeah.
so franchise our sauce. I want people to say, oh, I need this in my cabinet. Can I have all your flavors because I can't get it anywhere else? I want it so if we have competition there, it's not really competition because they don't have the same palettes we have. It's kind of like, even, if ladies are listening, ladies, you see your girls with hundreds of makeup palettes, right? You're like, you only need one palette.
Yeah.
But the same thing is like, how about you have hundreds of palettes of flavor? And that's the thing. Like, how can I hit it? Like, everyone else has these basic flavors where it's just a hot red sauce. Why not just do some different things?
What's the importance of having fresh ingredients?
Well, the importance of having fresh ingredients is this with sauce.
Yeah.
So for us, a lot of our ingredients aren't like so unquote fresh.
Yeah.
You could say like we have the fresh, and a lot of it becomes preserved because hot sauce is acidic food. It's not actual food. It's called it runs by acidic food law.
Okay.
So it's not under like regular food.
Gotcha.
But fresh ingredients, what it does, it brings out more flavor.
Gotcha.
Even with dry ingredients, you could do well with dry ingredients. Especially why you should use dry versus fresh.
No, what?
So with dry ingredients, it works better in stews and soups and liquids
Okay.
because it kind of like hydrates it and the flavor kind of expands.
Gotcha.
That's better for that. Fresh ingredients are more so for the nutrition right then and there.
The nutritional values there.
Yeah.
Mark. Gotcha. So what's the shelf life on one of these? So if I were to want to put these in one of my stores or whatever it is, how long can it chill on the shelf? Hopefully it won't be long because they'll sell, right?
Yeah.
But
So for us, we actually sell out. We actually make new sauce every week because the sauce from last week be gone.
nice.
So it's about 2 years, at least 2 years, I'll say.
Nice.
And some people still had it from 2 years now, and they still got it. They call it the good sauce. They only bring it out during holidays, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, use it more. But pretty much, 2 years because it's under like the pH balance of 4.0.
Okay.
So when you're below 4.0 or about 4.0, what happens is you're at the acidic level. We probably learned some biology or chemistry.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So your bacteria doesn't grow there.
Gotcha.
So it like makes the shelf life very, very long. It's kind of like the pickling process too.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. The other question I want to ask about when we were talking about the fresh food is how important is a good pepper, right? So when you get, because there's certain people, like, how there's certain states that, like, Idaho's known for their potatoes, or whatever, New Jersey's known for their corn. Like, is there what's the pepper? You know, what state is with the pepper, right? And where it's like, you have to get peppers for them, or that doesn't even really matter. It's when you put all the special ingredients together is what really makes it happen.
Well, you definitely want the you want the more organic peppers. You want to get the states with the highest requirements.
Gotcha.
Like one place I realized has the best requirements when it comes to farming is California.
Really?
Because if you use lead to chop up stuff or refine stuff, you have to say you use lead in there. And then on the back of anything that came from California, you got to show the side effects of lead.
Wow.
And it's horrible. So think about putting that on your nutrition product.
Wow. Yeah.
So, man, that's crazy. Think about but California has really great standards.
Nice. So what has been the marketing process with you? Obviously you're doing podcasts, obviously you're getting exposure, but how are you guys marketing yourselves? How are you putting it out there outside the wineries, the farmer markets, the website? What other things are you doing?
So one thing we're doing is this. We're actually doing something called the hot seat. So we're doing a hot seat November 7th. It's going to be on CMP Radio. It's a local radio station. We're going to be talking about some of the challenges in our city and some of the things we go through as people live in there, some infrastructure and things like that. And what it does is allows us to work with entrepreneurs and get them on the panel 3 at a time to answer these spicy questions.
Nice.
Some spicy wings.
Nice.
And what that does is open up dialogue, and it connects all these different networks.
Yeah.
So you can imagine having 15 to 16. Well, think about having, I believe 18 this time. Think about having 18 different leaders and people with circles at the same time on one show. And then you got these businesses paying for sponsorships and commercials. So you got like thousands to 10,000s of people you didn't know you can put together viewership for at once. That's what we use for a big marketing concept. One thing we do is Cowtown. We really try to go over Cowtown and meet people in person.
Yeah.
Because we want them to get that emotional attachment to us when they use the sauce. Because a lot of times with the sauces in the supermarket, you don't really know who they are, who made them.
Sure. Of course.
You've never met that person.
Yeah, like you've never met Crystal. Like,
Right,
never
right.
met her a day in her life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true.
It could be a guy for all we know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just imagine Crystal, some guy in like Central Jersey with like from Jersey Shore, like one of the guys from Jersey Shores. He's like,
You never know. It could be Paulie D the whole time.
Little Paulie D version there.
yeah, like Paulie D the whole time. So Crystal, it's like, man, this thing's greasy. But
It could be Snooki's grandmom creating it in her backyard or something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
you never know. But one of our biggest marketing things is this: we want to make sure people know it's low sodium, all natural, and it's high flavor. And we want to make sure we people know like it's safe for people to eat.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are getting more conscious about health and things like that. We try to make sure, and we want to make sure our marketing with restaurants is this: it's a ready-to-serve sauce, but you can add salt and seasonings to it if you want. So pretty much you can add it to your food without over-seasoning your food. Nice. You cannot never add too much of it, which is a goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So you can add a little bit of flavor, you add a lot of flavor, it doesn't matter. That's what we try to do. Our marketing is pretty much just adding it. It's always enough. It's never enough, right?
Yeah.
You can always add more.
It's true.
But one thing we're trying to do is more social media things. We're trying to create more publicity when it comes in the city area. We're trying to create more challenges. We're trying to get more interactive, and that's what we're trying to, figure out more in this COVID situation.
Of course.
And we do test things at Cowtown. We let people test things on chips or spoons.
Okay.
We're wearing gloves. We're wearing masks. We're very safe and sanitary with it. We're letting people test it. I do want to do a challenge, the Island Fire. We got a hot sauce called Island Fire. It's the hottest sauce we got.
Okay. Wow.
But I want to do a challenge with that and just do reaction videos with that soon. So
No,
that's going to be a
that's
marketing
cool.
thing as well. So we're going to start getting some people to do reaction videos to it.
Very cool.
What's that put on? Like, what do you put on that? Chicken?
I mean,
you say chicken.
Everything.
I like my chicken always spicy. So
Yeah,
you never
I
go
like
wrong with that.
Kick.
It's going to be more than a kick. It's
It's a body slam.
Might have to put on the label. This is like a right hook from Tyson.
Yep.
So what's like the main ingredient for that one?
So there's pineapples in there. What else is in there, Kareem?
So with that one, it's like a multi-pepper sauce we're combining.
Okay.
So with that one, we're combining the peri peri pepper. We're combining that with the Moruga scorpion. We're also combining it with the ghost pepper.
I was gonna say you gotta have the ghost pepper
Yeah.
in there somewhere.
And what we
Wow.
do with that is we add a little oil in that too. So what happens is viscosity. So liquid has its own friction force, right? Viscosity, right? Like smoothness of a liquid. So oil has like a higher viscosity, a little bit thicker. So what happens is it stays in your mouth. Oil stays in your mouth more. So it's a continuous burn. To the point where you may not be
dangerous.
able to be to finish your sentence there.
Gotta bring the heat.
So wait, have you guys tried it?
But yeah,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
absolutely. And pretty much if a guest don't show up on Saturday, I'll be the person to come in. I'll be like, all right.
I actually gave someone a sample one time, and they sat and cried in front of me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you see some people
Holy
sweat.
moly.
I'm like, man, you are sweating.
I know when I eat something with a lot of sauce,
Oh,
in
yeah.
it, a lot of hot spice, I sweat like a couple minutes after, and then I'm like, dang, this is some good sauce.
Yeah.
Do you make something with like I just bought some. I went to this market or a farmer's market, and it was a hot garlic sauce, and it was just like a yellow in color, and it was just high garlic, and it was like I put it over my rice and beans, and I'm like, man, this thing is amazing. And then this one tells me he put it all in his chicken, and they cooked it on his chicken. I'm like, that sounds even better. Like kind of like marinated the chicken with this garlic sauce.
We could do that with any of our sauce, marinate it, just add some oil in there to
Okay.
thin it out a little bit and marinate it. But we do have a sauce, a secret sauce in the arsenal called harissa. So harissa, so harissa is actually a North African sauce. It uses a paste or a marinade. They put it over rice or chicken.
Okay.
But it got tomatoes, very garlicky, and it got some spice to it.
Sounds
My
good.
mouth is watering.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So let's go back to I love this because I hope people are not missing that gem that you dropped with the hot seat thing, right? There's multiple things going on at once. You're not only getting great information from leaders of the area, right, and awesome tips, but marketing value. You're getting paid sponsorship. It's a win-win-win-win-win, right? So is that your event?
Yes, that's our event.
Okay,
That's our
cool.
event.
So that's perfect. So how did that come about? Because I don't want to just pass over that like that was nothing. That's genius, basically. Because you see it happen other places or other businesses, and it's done regularly. But the way you're doing it is very concentrated in. It's very purposeful. That's what I want to say. Everything seems strategic. Where sometimes you go to these events, it just seems like they're just trying to make a buck. You know what I'm saying? Where there's meaningful content here. So how did you develop that? Because I want to highlight that.
So first, it started out as an idea with you remember Hot Ones. They try the wings. With
Yeah, absolutely.
So at first you're like, yeah, we want to sample our wings like that too. We want to just get ours sampled because I try to get my sauce on there.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of gates. I was like, you know what? If I can get blessed by them at the moment, we'll bless ourselves.
Yeah.
So my idea was in entrepreneurship and showing entrepreneurs in the area. But a friend named Malcolm, his idea was more so on the community.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to blend both of it. So he's more community based, you can say.
Okay.
I'm more of the the business center guy. I'm like, all right, well, we gotta bottom line, right?
Yeah.
But we kind of blended the ideas together, and I liked his ideas of talking about the community. So we agreed, all right, we're going to talk about the community, but we're also going to have purpose business wide because we're not a nonprofit. You know what I mean? We're not a nonprofit.
Yeah.
We're a business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got to make money. We got to have a
course.
purpose to the event. It got to be marketing.
Of course.
And marketing is simple as this. It's awareness. Right?
Yeah.
So there's the best part about marketing is it needs to be emotional. Because it can't just be all facts. A lot of stuff we buy, we don't buy it off of facts, right? Think about it. Alcohol. If you read the facts about that and what it does to your body, would you...
Probably never buy another bottle in your life.
Right.
But when we think about alcohol, we think about a good evening with our family and friends, relaxing, having a nice party with the bros.
Right.
When we think about cigarettes, right? That's the best marketing I've ever seen in my life.
Sure. Yeah.
You're gonna light something on fire in your car. It's gonna give you cancer. It just doesn't sound fun. Yeah. But marketing is important. So we wanted to make sure when people thought about Lost and Sauce, they thought about community, thought about some people who actually cared. They thought about people who brought people together.
Yeah. That's very cool. And so you're 3 years in, right?
Yep.
Nice. So 3 years in and flying high, right?
Yep. I think the main part, it was 3 years, but the first 2 years we were kind of trying to shift our lifestyles to make it work because we're all busy. But I think the real mark will be 9 months for us. We actually been going after it.
Yeah.
Because 2 years we were kind of lollygagging. I was in school.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Didn't really have time to devote to it.
Yeah.
But now we're more focused and it's a priority, everyday priority for us.
So in saying that, I love to ask our guests, how do you manage the work-life balance, right? So how do you still have a life, quote unquote, but still, manage and run this business?
Well, he can answer his, but for me, I actually quit my job and I went part-time and then part-time business, and I'm doing some other things. I'm actually working on my YouTube channel too.
Nice.
But what I had to think about is, what did I actually want in life?
Yeah.
I want to start living more intentionally.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to just keep guessing it and hoping it all works out. Just do a bunch of stuff and hoping it works out.
Right.
So I want to be like, all right, I'm doing this for this, for this, for this. I want to build my asset column. How do I do that?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I thought about, I can't get more money. I can't just keep getting more money from my job. It'll eventually stop giving me money from my job.
Yeah.
So I have to focus on things I can control and be intentional with, like business.
Yeah.
So the business, this is a place you can build your assets. The business, you can control your income. You can work as long as you want, as hard as you want. That's just the magic of it. So when I did that, I had to set my priorities first, and then I set my lifestyle around my priorities.
Nice. Well said. And Kareem, what about you?
For me, it was just getting my time back.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that pretty much had me look at this and say, okay, I can't keep working a job.
Yeah.
One of my dreams is to be a 1%er. So I pretty much sat back and I had to just look I kind of forget.
That's all right.
Yeah, kind of forget my train of thought there, but
that's all right.
Just had to kind of sit back and look and say, okay, I'm working a full-time job, but I'm also an entrepreneur, and I want to put more of my time into my entrepreneurial thing. So let me put these on a scale, balance it out, and then change my focus.
Yeah,
change my focus. That was a big thing too.
And it's not easy. You come to a point in your life, and the crossroads, you walk up to it and you're like, it's tough, right? And you have to make the decision, because when you become kind of so-so and you're just half dabbling over here, it's kind of what you're saying. It's unintentional, right? And you're just throwing the darts, hoping they hit the bullseye, when it's very different when you have it, the scope on, and you're a sniper. It's very different than just recklessly shooting all over the place. And when you have those intentional goals, you're like the sniper. You're gonna get that goal no matter what. You might be in the bushes for a long time, and you might be in the weeds, whatever. But at one point, once you see that your target pop up, you're gonna get it. And props to you guys, because that's not easy. But it's commendable, because to realize and recognize that, and see, that's the energy that I'm talking about. And I'm sure if the other three were here, you guys just vibe off of each other, vibe off that, and get encouraged by one another, right? And build each other up. When someone's out there doing it by themselves, it's like you said, the insecurities will come in tomorrow. Like, oh my God, did I just make the right decision? What am I doing? But that's powerful, and I hope people are not missing that message. And I think you're right too, and it's cool for you to recognize, to say, the first 2 years were really just trying to figure it out, because it's something that just you kind of stumbled upon, right? Yeah. And now it's like you're intentional. You just said it, right? The last 9 months, you're super intentional on what you're doing. So kudos to you guys. What's your recommendation? Let's close with this before we tell people where they can get your product. What's your recommendation to anyone trying to create or start the pursuit of their dreams for the first time?
Just do it. Just if it's gonna be ugly at first, figure it out when you walk in there. You know, like sometimes we look at the peak and we get scared, but we gotta follow the trail to get to the peak.
Absolutely.
And we just gotta. Fear is always gonna be in front of something that's worth it.
Yeah.
And you can't have bravery without fear.
Yes.
The presence of fear.
Yeah.
So it's the challenges in life that build us. There's gonna be a lot of defining moments that define your character. And be the best you. Don't try to be an imposter of anyone else. Don't try to be. For me, I'm pretty monotone. I know I'm pretty monotone. I know I'm pretty boring.
Sure.
But a lot of people say, hey, that's what I like about you, and that's your strength.
Yeah.
But just be that person. You don't got to be the exciting person. You don't have the most energy in the room to be successful. You don't got to be a salesman. You just got to know what you want and be direct with your goals and just focus your energy on your goals.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well said. All right. And so if people want to find your product, Lost in the Sauce, where can they go? What's your recommendation outside of Cowtown, the winery? How can they get the product?
So our recommendation is go to our website. It's lostinthesauce.store. Again, lostinthesauce.store. You can follow us on Instagram as well to buy from Instagram on lostinthesauce_LLC. lostinthesauce_LLC.
Bam. Any parting words?
Focus on yourselves, build yourselves, be intentional with your life. Stop just giving up the chance. You're worthy of a great life. Don't let society beat you down. It's made to make us all social and just to work. And just we all gotta us millennials especially, we gotta save for our parents' retirement because they don't have any retirement.
Yeah.
So let's work hard.
I would say before you do anything, figure out your why.
Yeah.
And never settle for anything less than that.
Yeah.
But always remember, like E.T., the hip hop preacher always says, success is never on discount and greatness is never on sale.
I love it. Powerful, powerful stuff. Thank you, gentlemen. We like to wrap things up with quotes, and the first one is by Virginia Woolf. One cannot think well, love well, sleep well if one has not dined well. And the second one by Alan D. Wolfelt. Food is symbolic of love when words are inadequate. All right, Lost in the Sauce. In this episode, the crew welcomes special guest Jamar Saunders. We cover topics that range from cooking, the keto diet, hot sauce, coronavirus, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Alan D. Wolfelt and Virginia Woolf. Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyleeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyleeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.